first time I heard of Ted's Holdover, I thought it was something to do with Federation Wrestling. But then I learned his name was Bier, and I thought that's a great name for a cool guy. Not one to drink in bars with mirrors on the ceiling, the pink champagne on ice. He's standing in the doorway. I'm hearing the mission bell. It's going to be heaven, I can tell. It's time to hand over to Mr. Holdover. Please give an extreme welcome to Mr. Ted Bier.
Take this out. Yeah, you heard about the results in the speed silhouette, and if I gotta be honest, 90% of my brain right now is occupied with how I'm going to get this powerful laxative into Shane Keller's glass at dinner. So with that said,
I got you, Brad.
I'm gonna start off just a little bit about myself, but while I'm talking about this, what I'm gonna do tonight is actually open things up for questions. If you have a question on a video I've made, a way I do things, a way I edit video, how I shoot their camera, ask it. And the reason why I'm doing this is because last year I was asked to speak, and I thought, you know, I was kind of a guru at you know, filming through the camera. I won't call myself the pioneer of it, but certainly I made it pretty popular, and everyone rushed out and got the camera mount and started filming through the cameras. But to think of something this year that I'm good enough at to pontificate, I can't think of one when I know that there's people in this room with years more experience than me. I've only been really plugging away at this for 4 or 5 years at the airgun thing, and for me to pick something, you know, talk about accuracy or something, I don't know, anything airgun related, I would feel horribly inefficient, or bad word, but you know what I'm talking about. Like I'm not good enough at it to talk to some of the people in here. They should be teaching me. I have no business trying to teach them. So my background is I'm a biologist, and my background is, well, specifically if you wanted to talk about freshwater minnows or free diving, now I feel like an expert. So those are 2 other things that I happen to know a lot about. Air gunning is below those significantly, but I've somehow managed to acquire a pretty fair following on YouTube. I think largely because I'm a teacher by trade, and that comes through in the videos. And it is my goal, and it was my goal from the very beginning, to inspire children, to inspire kids, new shooters. So with that said, any questions that come up that are from the youth, junior shooters in here, you have priority. You could be a dozen old fellas with their hands up over there. You pop your hand up, you got my attention, first and foremost. All the youth shooters in here have first dibs at questions. And the reason for that is the channel started because I was trying to inspire kids, specifically a local group of Boy Scouts. And I saw them at the shooting range where I attend, and they were what I call of Duty-fied. If you play video games, you just hold crosshairs on target, regardless of distance, and away we go. That's madness, man. So
That's fun.
The kids, the boys that were there at the shooting range, that they were frustrated that what they were doing at 25 wasn't working at 50 yards, and you know what? Their scout leader, bless his heart, because he was just trying to do his best. Shooting was not his thing, and they didn't have a shooting expert in their group. I made a 3-part series on shooting. Shooting pigeons in the wind. I picked a 25-mile-an-hour wind day that was nice and consistent, filmed it through the camera, and showed me holding 18 inches to the right, 12 inches up, and watching that thing hook in 100 yards away, smacking pigeons. And that's what caught it. That's the reason I'm here. That's the reason the channel took off, basically. Those videos caught on. They're not my most popular ones now, oddly enough, because the sensational ones still do a little better than the learning ones. Imagine that. But that's why I'm here. So with that said, anyone who has a question, and I didn't mean to scare old people away from asking a question. certainly you're welcome to ask questions too, if the youth don't have any. But I will start it off with the first question. How much money do I make on YouTube? And the answer is, I'm pretty sure there's a Google spy in here right now, and I'm not going to say a dang thing. Yes, YouTube is a venue for making a little money, and I'm actually appreciative for people to tolerate the adverts that I put on there, so that it can help motivate me and fund me to keep going. So for those of you who tolerate the adverts, thank you very much. And now, are there any questions? Yeah. Oh, you got trumped. I'll give that to you. Yeah.
What's a good way to get started on YouTube?
On YouTube, do not set out to be popular or famous. Just do it your way. And if it, there is no magic recipe. Be yourself. Be honest, and do it your way. And don't try to copy anyone else. And that is the only way that you have an honest shot at success. Try to copy someone else, do it their way, and I can guarantee it won't work out for you.
How important is accuracy for you?
I'm sorry, this guy has a question, Frederick.
I'm going to ask, are you going to bring back the Edgar Matador 2.0, or are you just going to be at that same day state?
That's interesting. So, what you're asking, in a sense, if I'm reading you right, is the biggest question. What's your favorite air gun, right? Yeah, I appreciate you wording me a little nice. The truth is, the Edgar Matador I purchased, I bought that on my own, and I wanted the bullpup, and it was one of the few ones out there. In fairness, the 3.0 has had a lot of improvements that the 2.0 doesn't. My 2.0, I made videos 2-3 years ago, and I was shooting cans at 150 yards with it, and I thought that was the standard. I thought that that's the way the world was going to work forever. And then the next year of JSBs came out, and it didn't do the same thing the previous year does. So in hindsight, I wish I would have bought about 25 million tins of whatever that was that I was shooting. I didn't. I think I put about 4 of the 6 tins I had over the chronograph, which just still hurts. No, the answer is I'm a sucker for whatever gun is shooting the best. I hold loyalty to no one, no manufacturer, no gun, anything. I get my hands on a gun that's accurate, and I beam, or I get it figured out, I get it worked out. And the latest one I have right now is a Daystate Mark IV. It was shooting just so dang good. I shot it today as well. I was so overly confident with it that I actually tried to shoot it in the wind on round 4 of the 25 meter. That's a bit of a mess. But the point is, I'm always going to shoot my most accurate gun. The Edgar Matador serves its purpose. It's nice and small, it's compact, but that particular gun, the rifling on the barrel chews up pellets a little bit. The new barrels, and full disclosure, the new Lothar Walter barrels that they got in the 3.0 Edgar doesn't do that quite as much. But it takes more maintenance. I got to clean it every 200 shots, and with 2 kiddos and other stuff going on in my life, which you obviously know, but based on my July whatever last update on my webpage, which sorry, I'm very busy. So I like things simple. I like things accurate. I like to grab them out of the case, go, and not have to re-sight them in. So the answer is they're all on probation. Every gun I own is on probation, and it's only my favorite gun until next favorite gun. Yeah. So you may see they have been Matador again. Big gun.
I hear you have a secret guy somewhere that's made you that special scope mount. Where can I get one?
That's the Eagle Vision, and he's not secret, and he's not. I think Airguns of Arizona is actually carrying his product now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought you said custom on your video.
Is that right, Robert, or no?
Yeah.
Yeah. Greg?
That's not a season though.
You know, it's Eagle Vision,
Eagle.
and it's a little tricky. You have to epoxy a thread piece, a circular thread piece, to your camera itself. And then a piece screws into the camera, and then a piece screws into the Hawk Sidewinder series. Now, I guess he's making another scope mount that's going to be universal for all. But right now, his main one is for Hawk Sidewinder. So, in short, a Hawk Sidewinder 30 plus that camera mount, plus, in my opinion, adjustable scope mounts. That is simply because when you adjust the reticle and that camera's pointing straight down, the reticle actually moves when you adjust it. So to compensate for that, if you have to adjust it way down, to film your reticle will be way down. So you put your reticle to the center and then use your adjustable scope mounts and get those close to your zero and then fine tune it from there, if you know what I'm saying like that. So eaglevisioncam.com, I think it is, but that's enough. You guys can dig it up.
Anybody's gonna carry this stuff?
Yeah.
Do we have it?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Are you still gonna keep the secret about the pellet sizing device you have?
Oh, the secret was only kept because the gentleman who made it for me, wasn't ready to go full time in making pellet sizers. Full disclosure, to be honest with you, pellet sizing made a big difference for me when I was using Walter barrels or CZ, anything traditionally rifled barrels. It made a big difference. But when I started using smooth twist barrels, I found that it didn't make so much a difference. So I got lazy. And I took the lazy route. Hey, this guy doesn't need to size pellets, so now that's another perk of the smooth twist barrel is that you don't have to do that as much because it actually just it sizes them for you in short. So yeah, not as big of a deal.
Is a smooth twist a lot easier to clean?
I don't clean smooth twist.
You don't have to?
Nah, well, if something goes awry, something gets a little wonky, then I might do it. But generally speaking, if it's one thing I've learned, and I mean learned from this hobby, if it's not broke, do not fix it.
Yeah.
Do not fix it if it's not broke. If it's shooting lights out and you're thinking, yeah, it's doing so well, probably do a little better if I clean it. No, don't clean it. Leave it be. You know, I am as guilty as anybody for wanting to tear something apart and see how it works. But if it's shooting well, don't clean it. And the answer is, the only time I ever clean a smooth twist barrel is when I think something might be up. And then chances are that wasn't even the issue to begin with, but I still just had to eliminate that variable.
Yes.
So the answer is, I don't clean smooth twist barrels.
That's a nice feature.
Yeah, that's a nice perk for a lazy guy like me, yeah.
Thoughts on pellet lube?
What's that?
Pellet lubrication.
You got to try it. You got to, because it's not going to soil your barrel or anything. And every gun I give it a whirl. I mean, 9 times out of 10 doesn't work, but 1 time out of 10 it does. For example, the Daystate Mark IV that I use right now likes just a little bit of greasy stuff. It doesn't really matter what it is. You can use a Slick 50. You can use ballistol. Some people use like the chain wax or whatever that is. It doesn't care. It just needs a little bit. I don't know why. But the Walter barrel in my Mark IV does, and on occasion, rare occasion, but on occasion, a smooth twist barrel likes a little bit too. Usually not. I don't recommend someone wasting a whole tin of pellets with lube trying to get the smooth twist barrel over because it probably was just better without it. But on one of my smooth twist barrels, it actually prefers a little bit. And that could be upstairs, I don't know. Excuse me. A good day, possibly, at the range can certainly give you correlation without causation. But the answer is, I wouldn't spend too much time collecting this lube and that lube and that lube and that lube and that lube. Basically what I found is, it's more the quantity of whatever the heck you have. So it isn't so much that Slick 50 works better than ballistol as it is how much stuff you're putting on and the quantity you can put on. So I always give it a shot. I'll take 40, 50 pellets out of there, lube them up, and give them a whirl. And if they don't work, then about 10 shots with regular pellets usually cleans it out, and you're back to square one again. So it isn't like then you got to clean the barrel and wreck your brain over it.
Define a little bit. Define a little bit of lubricant. Trace.
Oh, okay. It would be if I had a can of ballistol, it would be take a plastic baggie and just on the side of it, just so it looks like it just dusted it with some mist, and that would be enough for a 500 tin of pellets. That's a little bit. If I had Slick 50, I'd use like a syringe or an eyedropper and put 1 drop in the bag, and then roll them back and forth.
In the bag.
Yeah, while you're watching Monday Night Football, rolling them back and forth, and then put them in the tin. And if the lubricant had a solvent to it, like in a can, a spray can, something like that. Let the solvent come off before you go shooting them. It doesn't take too long. Just give them a little bit of breathing time. That's all. That's what I think.
Who's going to win the silhouette tomorrow?
Well,
Who's in the final?
Given that I get close enough to yours and Shane's glasses, I'm feeling pretty confident. Yeah.
On your most recent video, you had a 150-yard shot in a pigeon.
Yes.
Before you took the shot, did you think you were going to get it?
That's a good question, and it all really depends on how many raffle tickets you purchased today. The truth is, I have been at that farm many times. So when you kind of park your butt in one familiar spot, you have your spots, kind of your magic spots. They land there, they land there, they land there. I did have to work out the dots really quick in my head on that video. Yeah, it's just, you can see like the grinding away into the brain. But you're asking if I had to do like a lot of math or a lot of thinking before I took it. A lot of patience. I just had to wait for that wind. And you know, when we're shooting Extreme Benchrest, we're splitting hairs over the smallest amount of wind. Because, I mean, let's be honest, like a 10 is minuscule trying to hit that. By comparison, the kill zone on a pigeon is about that big. When you have 25 caliber, and all you gotta do is really get a good piece of them, it's gonna whack him hard. So, the attention I would give to each individual shot at Extreme Benchrest is actually more than I would give to that pigeon. This at 150 for me is easier than this at 75. Given that the gun shoots straight and that 25 Bobcat, I'm a big fan of it right now. If I wouldn't have read the wind report and saw that we expect a 13 northwest tomorrow, and everybody enjoyed. If I wouldn't have seen that was coming, the 25 would still be here with me right now. It's my favorite gun right now. But the 30 that I have is shooting equally well, and so I choose that one because it bucks the wind better. That's why it's here.
What's the best optic for the money and everything?
Bang for the buck scope. How much you want to spend?
I don't know, somewhere.
Mom, how much you gonna spend?
This is my money I'm talking about.
Okay.
Somewhere in between 150 tops 300.
All right, 150 to tops 300. In that range, I'm likely opting for a leaper scope. The leapers actually shot SWAT. They're made in China, like a lot of inexpensive scopes
I
are.
have one of them right now, the 4012.
Well, you're ahead of the game then, I guess. I have nothing to teach you.
I'm talking more precision because I've had trouble with the thick reticle.
The thick reticle on the leapers, yeah. When you can afford it, the jump that I made was from leapers to Hawk Sidewinder. And the Hawk Sidewinder in the 400 range, sorry mom, is the best bang for the buck in that range. But you get a heck of a reticle, it's very thin, it's a true mill dot at 20x, which means if you crank it to 10x, that means each half dot is one dot.
3.6 inches, right?
That's right, at 100 yards. How many of you knew that at 12 years old? Okay, so that's what I'd recommend in that range. Leapers in the 200, Hawk in the 400. And with that, thank you very much.